So I dragged the 90-something burnt up Briggs out of the shed there. It's been resting comfortably for a while, a number of years, but gonna tear it down, see what we got going on inside the crankcase with the crankshaft there. This is a weight on this side of the flywheel. Then over on this side, we've got the magnet, and it's kind of separated there. It's falling apart. Oil dipstick is gone, or they melted and fell inside. Carbon gas tank, they might have been on it when I got it. It's been so long I can't remember. But the magneto's kind of cool. You can see this little tiny wire here, and then the primary, so the primary and the secondary wires there. It's corroded a lot. It's been sitting in my shed, even though it was out of the rain. It didn't. Oh, that's funny. The head bolts are bent. It's like they sagged from the heat. That's crazy. And of course, you can see that the head is melted away there. Aluminum was flowing. End of the intake manifold's gone. The bottom of it, I think, survived not too bad being on the deck. It burnt the seal out of the bottom. Just got fried pretty good in a garage fire. No doubt. I'm a little curious what this blob here was. It's looking like aluminum or something. I was trying to think. Normally you have the screen there with the holes in it, but it's made of steel. So I don't quite know, unless this is part of the, I don't know. It seems more like aluminum than plastic. But this was probably too old to have the plastic look good shroud on it from the 90s. This guy, now he's got the recoil starter there, but it would, I don't know, kind of look something like this, I would think. Yeah, both of them I got here vertical pull starters, but you think they'd be something like that. Anyway, so like I say, I'm going to try pulling the crankcase cover off it here. We'll see what the inside looks like. Don't know if I can salvage a single part off this. I was hoping for the maybe the gear off the crankshaft, or the crankshaft itself, but we'll see. I was looking at it, the way it was sitting, it looked like the crankshaft was bent, but up here from this view and other views, I don't know, it might be bent. Anyway, I'll peel her apart there and see what we got. Yeah, making some progress here. I was able to get the recoil starter piece off the crankshaft there, and which revealed the nut that you don't normally see, because it's cast inside the other part of the outside part of the recoil starter there. And that in fact was what that blobby material, and some of it's still left here, just breaks off because it's a zinc based or something. I don't know what it is. It melts at a lower temperature than the flywheel did, though. Of course, the magnet in the flywheel has no magnetism left. But moving along. Yeah, I just want to get some video of the piston and valves there. Oh, that's interesting. I noticed that that one broke out around it, kind of melted. Because I'm going to try to move the piston. The motor's seized, but I've got the flywheel off, and now I'm going to try to, I'll get the blade mount off, and going to try to take the crankcase cover off, but the piston might, well, I got to clean it up and put penetrating oil and stuff, try to get it to move just a bit. It's got to be at the top there so I can get it out. So before I did that, I just wanted to show what it looked like before I cleaned it and all that. Well, after a lot of beating on it there with the hammer and things, I finally got the crankcase cover off. So you can see the bench through part of it there around the where the dipstick went in. I got a new dehumidifier because the old one, the compressor stopped, and this one hasn't learned when I'm making a video yet, so it can quiet down. Hopefully you can hear what I'm saying. Crankcase cover here. There's nothing left of the plastic camshaft except the internal 1/2 inch diameter steel shaft there. Same thing with the oiler. Nothing left of it. Anything that burned in here did. If it could burn, it did. Now this lump, I'm pretty sure it's part of, it's heavy. Pretty sure it's part of the recoil starter that like seeped in through the opening there. But other than that, other than a bunch of burnt and baked on oil, this end cover is probably reusable. The block, I don't know, hypothetically speaking, I could try to get this thing going again, but we'll see. She's got some issues there with the one head bolt and intake manifold. That's the manifold aluminum melted to it, so I'd have to peel that out of there and get the valves out. Springs, I'm sure, are done. First thing I got to do though is get the crank out. It's actually unstuck. I can't turn it by hand, but if I put in a vise, I was able to rotate it to the top position. So I guess I can undo the bolts and try to take that out next. Well, I got the valves out of it. The intake valve, got most of the intake manifold off of it there, but as you can see, there's still some in. It's actually a big blob inside there. I think I'm gonna have some fun getting that out. I don't know, might have to resort to a Dremel with some type of a burr on it there. Almost formed a valve guide there from the looks of it. Yeah, she flowed right in and down, and there you have it. It's a cylinder wall. I'll try to take a better video outdoors, so I'm just kind of showing this as I'm tearing it down, because I'll try to get that out, but show it before it's been taken out. So here's the disassembled pieces of the crispy-fied Briggs there. Got the crankshaft there. As you can see, she's kind of burnt from oil on the surfaces there, especially the top ones where the rod is, and then down here. The gear's okay. The push rods or tappets, they're oil burnt to them. Got the piston here with the connecting rod. As you can see, the chrome on it there, chrome plating, has turned blue, and there's some bubbling different places along it there. Piston pin's still free, rotates. The connecting rod, the bolts were loose. I don't know if they stretched. Maybe you can see some, looks like bubbling on top of the piston there where the chrome is separated. The top ring was fairly loose. The other two were snug. They rotate, but not very good. Oil burnt to the connecting rod there. Yeah, there was pretty obvious that the oil in the crankcase caught fire and started burning. You can see like this, I don't know, boiling oil mark layer all the way around it, and then it must have burnt through the dipstick and then proceeded to start to melt the block. The cylinder, you can see some there, some bubbling in it, different different views there of it. So if I wanted to actually try to run this, I'm sure I'd have to hone the cylinder. It's probably not round anymore. There's also some issues. Exhaust valve looked okay. Intake valve was okay too, but the seat here, it looks like there's well, you know, you got this head bolt missing here, but I think it's sunk down slightly. It started to yeah, you can maybe see it there, started to bow downwards by the intake there. I may actually try to you know, JB weld this thing up, just get a short run out of it. I don't, as long as I can get a piston to move up and down, I don't see any real showstoppers. I can plug that hole up there, you know, fabric cobble something up. It's just a chunk of something melted there. Anyway, there's the recoil starter part, and this blob here was sitting right in here. I thought the crankcase had bubbled up, but it's not. It's part of the outside of the recoil starter, and there was another big lump of it in the crankcase. I believe I showed it earlier. Believe it or not, the head gasket survived pretty good. It's kind of burnt in this one corner here, but, and of course there's the magneto, the fine wires on the outside and the coarse ones on the inside. It's in pretty rough shape there. But the flywheel, I haven't got, didn't bring the rest of it up here. I think it's shown well on the rest of the video, but in the nut inside it there, and then there was the magnet, but like I said, and a counterweight on the far side. It's lost its magnetism. Now the cylinder head, it didn't do so well. You can see there, she's burnt pretty good. You got the spark plug hole there. It's really, you know, you got a couple good bolts holding it in place there. See, another bolt goes here. It burned up pretty good. So obviously, you know, I'd have to use some replacement parts on the parts that got disintegrated, but that could all be done. So I got various parts in there from it. So anyway, like I say, I'm not 100% sure at this point in time, but I may actually try to get it going just for a quick run, crispy fried Briggs. So anyway, that's what it looks like when it goes through a garage fire. Bad things happen.